In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Settings. The first tab is System Information. Here you can fill in any information you would like to save regarding the installation. This can be helpful if you at a later state needs to make changes to the settings in the installation, like who made the installation, who to contact if you, or your colleagues, would like to change the installation. If you change the device name to a unique name, this could be Classroom 1A. The name will show up in your browser window, but also in PowerZone Control Center, as the amplifier installed or controlling Classroom 1A. This is helpful if you have many amplifiers installed at the same location, and make it easy to find the amplifier you need to address. Device. Contrary to system information, you cannot change the text under Device. But here you will find all information about the model type, serial number, and firmware version that is installed in the amplifier. Here you can also find the MAC addresses for LAN and Wi-Fi. You will also find a smart little function we call Find Me. If you have many amplifiers connected at the same place, perhaps even of the same type, then it can be smart to know which of the amplifiers you are connected to. Click on Find Me, and the LED lights on the front start to run or blink. Then you can easily see which amplifier you are connected to via Wi-Fi or LAN. If you need to update the amplifier to the latest firmware, you can click Update and locate the latest firmware you have downloaded from our website in advance. External devices. Under External Devices, you may find all the Wall S1 wall controllers, which are connected to the same network and which are in the same IP range as the amplifier. You will see wall controllers already connected to this amplifier as paired. Wall controllers which are connected to another amplifier are shown under unpaired, but since it is already connected and controlled by another amplifier, it is not possible to also connect this wall controller to this amplifier. Free wall controllers not yet connected to any amplifier can be paired with this amplifier by pressing Pair. As soon as you have clicked Pair, you will see the wall controller is paired with this amplifier. If you want to connect a wall controller that cannot be immediately paired, you must unpair the wall controller from the amplifier to which it is already connected. Or you can reset the wall controller on the controller itself. After the wall controller has been reset, it will appear in the Unpaired menu, and it will now be possible to pair it with this amplifier. See the separate video we have made about pairing and setting up the Wall S1 wall controller for more information. Backup and restore. When you have completely finished setting up the amplifier, we recommend that you take a backup of all your settings and save the backup file in a safe place so that you can always upload the file again, if necessary. Then you don't have to make all the settings again. If, for example, it is a retail chain, where all installations are exactly the same, you can do the first setup, save the file, and upload the file to the next installation amplifier. This will save you time. You can use the Restart Device button if you want to restart the amplifier. It is equal, or similar, to removing the power from the amplifier and reconnecting it. If the Wi-Fi has been switched off, it will be activated again in the number of minutes it is set to under the Wi-Fi settings. If for some reason you would like to reset the amplifier and start all over again, you can use the Factory Reset button. Be aware that all settings will be reset. Your device will reset to factory defaults. Network settings is reset to default, and you might lose connectivity. This action cannot be undone. Speaker Library. In the Speaker Library, you can collect and save your own EQ files. You can arrange them into library folders, and with a good structure and naming, you will always have your most used speaker EQs ready for later use in the system. Security. We recommend making a password protection so that the amplifier cannot be accessed by unauthorized persons after you have left the installation. Here you can add a password to the amplifier's LAN settings. Turn on password protection and enter a secure password. Repeat the password and click Apply. The amplifier will investigate that the password match. Once a password has been enabled, user control can be accessed. See the separate video we have made about user control. Power management. All settings in power management are clearly explained with text next to each option. But in short, this is where you can choose how the amplifier should start up. It can be set to start when it receives an audio signal via the analog inputs, when it is activated by a Dante digital audio signal, via a disconnect switch, when activated by a Wall S1 wall controller, or via an API signal from a third-party product. If the amplifier does not receive any signal, it will automatically go into standby after the number of minutes you, as the installer, set for the standby and mute times. This ensures optimal power consumption when the amplifier is not in use. The amplifier starts up in less than a second when it receives an analog signal. Output routing. For the digital outputs, SPDIF and Dante, you have the option of choosing which signal you want to distribute further through the digital outputs. For SPDIF, you have 2 channels out. This is usually a stereo output. It could, for example, be a streaming box that is distributed to several amplifiers. Alternatively, it can be 2 independent monochannels, in this example, 2 microphones. You can use these outputs to either expand a zone with more amplifiers if you need more output channels in a zone, or to distribute a stereo sound source or 2 mono sound sources to other amplifiers, as we did before. If you want to expand a zone with several amplifiers, you must select which zone's audio needs to be sent out via the SPDIF output. This signal will be variable, so the next amplifier channels will follow the audio from the zone volume. The same applies to Dante output routing. You can choose whether it is the signal from a zone or sound sources that are to be distributed further through one of the 4 Dante outputs. Dante settings. The Dante chip we use at Blaze Audio is a Dante Ultimo 4x4 chip. This means that you have 4 inputs and 4 outputs on all Blaze amplifiers equipped with Dante. To connect the individual audio sources in Dante networks, you must use the Dante controller. The sample rate is 48 kHz. To change the signal from Dante to AES67, use the Audinate Dante controller. If you are not familiar with, or have problems connecting Dante products to each other, we recommend that you use Audinate's website to review Audinate's networked AV training and certifications. GPIO settings. All of our PowerZone Connect amplifiers have GPIO connections. Several of the switches allow you to choose between different functions. But common to all functions is that they need at least 2 contacts, a plus and a minus connection to work. There is a detailed description next to each switch function. Overall, the amplifier can trigger other amplifiers or equipment to turn on or off. You can install a simple 10K ohm potentiometer as volume controller for each zone, or the amplifier can switch off or mute if a warning signal is activated in the building where the amplifiers are installed. Take a closer look at each description before you connect any device to be sure what the switch is used for. LAN settings. In the LAN settings, you can choose if the amplifier should have an automatic IP address or if you would like to give the amplifier a static IP address. As standard, the amplifiers are set to use DHCP setting. This means that it, together with other Blaze devices, automatically will appear on the network if you use the Blaze PowerZone Control Center. The assigned IP address can be read in the PowerZone Control Center. If for some reason you would rather give the amplifier a fixed IP address, press Static and write the IP address with the range in which you want the amplifier to work. Remember that all products in a network must be within the same range, but each have its own unique IP address. Remember to click Apply if you have made changes. Wi-Fi. The unique thing about the Blaze PowerZone Connect amplifiers is that they can be accessed from any device that has an internet browser and can access the network. The Wi-Fi IP address is standard 192.168.4.1. Find and connect to the amplifier in your network settings and type the IP address of the amplifier in your web browser. If the amplifier is installed in a public place, such as a cafe or restaurant, the Wi-Fi can be turned off so that it is not visible to outsiders. You can choose how long it takes before the Wi-Fi switches off after you have finished your installation. When connecting via Wi-Fi to the amplifier from, for example, your phone, you will be asked for a password. The standard password that must be used to log in is password. We recommend that you change your password as soon as possible. Remember to click Apply to save your changes. We are now finished with going through the Settings tab. Thank you for watching.